guys, welcome back. In this video we are looking at Day Tripper by the Beatles. This is a song that, in my opinion, certainly had to be influenced by the blues just based on the chords that are being outlined and the manner in which they are being outlined, at least for the main riff. And then of course it moves around a little bit when you get into the chorus. But anyways, just something to note if you're looking at blues and looking for that relationship between how blues has influenced rock and roll. I'd say this would definitely be one of those songs. Going to be some good challenges for pick directions, implementing a plan of attack with your picking, some power chords, and a small solo. It's brief but fun to play and gets you working on some bends. Right, so let's jump right in. Our E riff is going to start on string 6 open, then string 6 fret 3 and 4 with my middle finger and ring finger. That's what I like to use there. Middle finger on fret 3 and ring finger on fret 4. Then string 5 fret 2, and I'm going to land not super curled here with my index finger. I want to land a little flat so I can implement a little finger roll here, right? So I can maintain continuity with the riff like that instead of hopping over to that string. There will be an opportunity to adjust. You're not going to stay there in that little hinge bar finger roll position, but that does allow us to connect the notes. So that little finger roll thing works great if you're playing two adjacent strings on the same fret as we are in this case. So string 5 fret 2, finger roll, buckle the knuckle there to string 4 fret 2, open string 4, string 5 fret 2 again with finger 1, string 4 fret 4 with finger 3, string 5 fret 2 again, string 4 open, string 4 fret 2. Nice and slow. There's a lot of different ways that you could play this. I'm going to give you one option as far as pick directions. And then, do what feels most comfortable. But if you haven't been implementing alternate picking on a regular basis, use this as an opportunity for that. You can't pick this all down. You're just going to get too tense, too tight trying to do that. So I'll give you this one pattern or sequence of picking. Play around with it. Maybe you end up manipulating it. Something else that feels more comfortable to you. A lot of options that are possible. So down, down, up, down, down, up, down, up, down, down, up, down, down, up, down, down, up, down, up, down, down, up. So when we get here, right here, this double down here, it's economy picking right there. You're just dragging, you got a little, what we would call a rest stroke, where you just fall into the 4th string coming across the 5th string. You want that to be a little fluid motion. You don't want to separate it too much in the right hand. So with the finger roll going on the left hand and the right hand using that, just taking advantage of the motion that the hand is already moving, I think they'll work together well that way. That's a good way of thinking about it, where we're trying to maintain continuity. The index finger is flattening out with the finger roll, and the pick is just going straight through. So let me play that a couple different speeds. Faster. exact same thing for the A riff. All right, so the intro is the E riff, and then when they start singing, it's going to be the E riff twice, A riff once, E riff once. But we just take everything and shift it towards the floor one string. Right, so starting on string 5, exact same fingering, exact same picking, exact same movement, rhythm, everything. Starting on string 5 open. Okay, then we get to the chorus. This is going to be power chords all the way. We've got an F sharp 5 power chord, string 6 fret 2, string 4 fret 4, and it's just going to be a lot of down strumming, just eighth notes, and you can throw in the demo at the beginning. I was throwing in this little hammer on with the index finger. You can kind of hear that happen in the audio. It doesn't have to be in any particular location. You can kind of play around with using that as an accent and just building momentum. But I'll show it to you one way here. So F sharp 5, 1 and 2 and 3 and 4 and 1 and 2 and 3 and 4 and. So I put it on beat 3 of the second measure, and then you just repeat that. So that whole line together would be shift up to A5, 5 and 7 here. Down 1 fret to 4 and 6, G sharp 5. Jump strings to 5 and 4, same frets, C sharp 5. Down 2 frets to B5, same string set. All the way through that, F sharp 5 for the chorus. A5, G sharp 5, C sharp 5, B5. And then depending on what part of the song you're in, it'll go back to the main riff, or it might always go back to the main riff. But then we have the interlude, which is the same as the E and the A riff, but it's played over a B chord. And we can't take advantage of open strings in the same manner because we don't have an open string B bass note, right? So we have to, we're going to play a little power chord here. So B5, string 5 fret 2 and string 4 fret 4, and then string 4 open, hammer on to 1, fret 1, string 4 with finger 1, and then a finger roll here with finger 3, string 4 fret 4, to string 3 fret 4. String 3 fret 2, string 4 fret 4, string 2 fret 2, string 4 fret 4, string 3 fret 2 and 4. All together that is hammer on here, finger roll, jump to string 2, that's a good little riff to be able to manage how we, the eventuality of that left hand, the way we want it to work on the guitar, where it's not rigid. There's a lot of elasticity and dexterity in what we're doing, and letting flexion and extension happen as we move, getting that thumb involved. Good thing to think about there. It might feel a little boxy and kind of mechanical initially, as a lot of things will. As you start to feel the groove, that hand starts to get a little bit more elasticity in it, and that's what creates the sense of fluidity in what you're playing. Okay, and then that brings us to the solo here. Short but sweet, string 4, fret 9, twice. Then I jump to string 3, frets 9 and 7 with fingers 1 and 3. I'm going to do a little grace note pull off. So I already have finger 1 in place there. Back to string 4, fret 9, not letting go of finger 1. String 3, fret 7, string 3, fret 9. Then a full step bend here. You're going to hold that, throw the pinky down. This happens a lot with our pentatonic scales here. Full step bend, grab string 2, fret 10. While that bend is still going, and pick it again. And just let it come to rest. Okay, again, all of that is. Then we play string 2 open very quickly, and then jump onto string 2, fret 12 with finger 3. Alright. Then you're going to play that fret 12 twice. String 1, fret 10. String 2, fret 12. String 1, fret 10. String 1, fret 12. Bend. Little half step bend there. I'm not going to hold that one as long. String 1, fret 10. String 2, fret 12. Again, that is. Then the end, you just jump. I doubled this up to play a unison instead of playing a single note. But string 3, fret 4, and string 3, fret 4, and string 2 open. So 2 B's there. And you just play that with whatever frequency you like. The way I did it in the intro, I think, is just like playing quarter notes and then eighth notes, so just kind of building up momentum back into the main riff. So on and so forth. So solo at a couple different speeds. Faster. Did a pull off there, which you could do. You get the point over here. And let's go a little bit faster. So on and so forth. So you got a solo, you got a riff that is outlining chords. It's good to think about the notes that you're playing there. If you understand how chords are constructed, like an E major chord is E, G sharp, B. A lot of the notes that are being hit in the E riff, if you will, are those notes. There are other notes in between, but that's how riffs are created. It doesn't have to be just the notes of the chord, but those get emphasized. And then just some little power chords shifting around, not too much going on there in the solo, with some bending and left hand stuff. So good things to work on with that tune. Have fun, guys. If you have any questions, let me know. See you in the next video. Thanks.